Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching. It would mean the world to us if you could just scroll down, like, hit the subscribe button for the Snaps YouTube channel. It goes a long way towards helping us out. Now, let's dive into some college football.
Dion, year two, great article in The Athletic, kind of breaking down position by position, even the coaching staff, what's returned, what have they done in the portal, what are the pieces that have come back this season. Moving to an easier conference, I think we can all agree the Pac-12 exceeded all expectations this year. 4 wins, hot start, very fast drop off when they started playing some of the bigger boys there out west. You move to kind of that next tier below conference, behind, I don't know, I guess you put in the same category as the ACC somewhat there in the Big 12. Where do you anticipate? Do you like it? I mean, first off, do you like Dion? And do you think what he can do can see massive improvements in year two?
As someone who talks college football content, I love Dion.
Yeah.
But you forgot the biggest addition. They brought back the prime cleats and the prime shoes. You forgot that in the additions during the offseason. Also, Shedeur went out there and did some Fashion Nova stuff out there in Paris. So you forgot all the good stuff during the offseason. But here's my thing about this. I'm a fan of consistency as long as you have a plan and you execute it consistently, and you don't waver from it. I'm normally good as long as I can quantify it. And he's been very consistent. It's been very obvious. We're turning over the roster, and we're going to turn over the roster that we turned over. I think that's been the underreported part of this. He has been taking stabs at the portal, but not every single stab has been a hit. He has been siphoning through a lot of these players as well. Not a lot, but a substantial portion of these players. And that's fine. We're trying to get better players into a program that did not have good ones. I understand that principle. Here's my question. When we're constantly bringing in new bodies and we're constantly bringing in new faces and we're constantly changing the identity of our roster, then we're probably going to be dependent upon coaching a lot more than other programs, because we don't depend on continuity around here. It's not familiarity. You don't know the system because you've been here a long time. You know the system because the coach implemented it really, really well. And that would be great. That's fine. As long as we have consistency and we don't have tremendous amount of turnover on the coaching staff, which, as you alluded to, is not exactly the case. They've had pretty consistent turnover on the coaching staff as well. So we have all of these changing body parts and all these changing identities. And I don't know the caliber of football coach that Dion is. I know the caliber of CEO. I know the caliber of marketer. I know the caliber of motivator that he is. I don't know, because I don't have a background of it. Like, hey, how good of an X's and O's coach is Deion Sanders when all of the things around him are changing? Can he walk into the room and say, hey, I know the OC I just got rid of, demoted, and brought in a new one. Hey, it's all good. I'm going to take over the room today and implement these concepts. I'm not saying you have to be able to do that. I'm just saying it would be really, really a lot easier to just depend upon consistency somewhere. There's no consistency anywhere. You talked about going into an easier conference from a top-end perspective, but the Big 12 is historically rock fighting one another every single week. Like, they are taking each other into the alley and just figuring out who's the better 7-5 football team today. That's what they do. And if I look at the schedule, I see 3 guaranteed wins, and I don't feel great about some of them. North Dakota State, I hope you get that one, Dion.
You better get that one.
Colorado State, you better get that one again. Cincy later in the year, based off what Cincy did year 1 in the Big 12, you better get that one. And then the rest of the schedule, to a man right now, Aaron Murray, is Colorado guaranteed to beat Nebraska? Is Colorado guaranteed to beat Baylor? Baylor had a bad year last year, but Dave Aranda ain't no slappy. At UCF, is that a guaranteed win in Gus Malzahn year 2? K-State, Arizona, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. I got 9. Flip a coin. Are y'all going to win
that's
today?
it. I mean, we say it's like the next tier down, but they're all on the same level though. They're all they're all the same. It is going to be most likely a very competitive season if you're a Big 12 fan. You may not get the love, you may not get the primetime games that the Big 10 gets, that the SEC gets, but you're going to get really good football because you are very similar with the makeup of coach. You're very similar with the makeup of the student athlete. They are the athlete on the roster that, we could say all we want. Like, Colorado returned Shedeur, who could be a first rounder. They returned maybe the best athlete in Travis in the country. They've improved the offensive line. They have all these skill guys, but are they truly that much more skilled than these other rosters. I wouldn't go out there and say like it's an SEC roster. I wouldn't say it's a Big Ten elite roster. It's a really good Big 12 roster, but a really good Big 12 roster could still be a 6-6, 7-5 team like you alluded. So they will be better than they were last year. I will give them that. I will be shocked if they're not a bowl team.
It's a really good Big 12 roster that is comprised of really good Big 12 players that they've taken off of other Big 12 rosters. I think I got like 5 guys from Houston. You know what I mean? Like they have gone through and kind of siphoned through all of the mid majors and all of the really good other non-Big Ten and SEC teams, and they've kind of grabbed players off. Will Shepard is a prime example of this from Vanderbilt, right? Like that's a great receiver. He was an NFL caliber receiver. He's now at Colorado. Well, he's got 6 months to figure it out really quickly. Okay. And that's fine. He's a great football player. He might be able to do so. But yeah, it's an interesting
He'll be
strategy.
fine. He's a Vanderbilt kid. He'll be fine.
He's smart. Yeah.
Well, you also you amass so much talent where you feel like you can do less with more. I mean, that's what we did for so long. That's what Alabama did for so long. You have so much more talent. You don't have to make it complex. You can just kind of line up and just play football. And I think Dion's kind of getting to the point already in year 2, which is a little bit scary that like, hey, I got the dudes and I got my son at quarterback. That's all I need. Watch me go out there, and if he has protection, we're going to be just fine.
I just know the back end of this slate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, oh my God, you're signing up for fist fights week in and week out. Listen to that. I don't know what Arizona's going to be.
What does he need to get to, in your opinion? Year 2,
get your son into the first round. That's the goal. Get your son into the first round. Get Shiloh drafted as well. Have a great time with Travis Hunter, who he calls his nephew. Get everybody into the first round, and then figure out what the coaching career of Prime looks like. That it's been Aaron. There is no long-term plan at Colorado. There has been
I agree. But like for a Colorado fan,
like,
what should a Colorado fan deem as successful? Clip Moses says 5 or 6 wins. I would say 6 or 7.
You've had your success if you're a Colorado football fan. You did, the whole hire was to make you like have notoriety in the world of college football. You got that year 1 when Big Noon Kickoff spent 7 weeks in a row at your place, when College Football Game Day came to you. Like the whole goal of hiring Dion has already been accomplished. Whether or not you are a 9-win football program,
translate that into wins. You got to translate that into wins. So hype got
over 4 years. You can't. As a Colorado football fan, I don't believe it is reasonable for you to believe you can be 0-12 in 2021 and then in 2024 to be competing for a national title or to have won 10 games.
I'm not saying that's outrageous. I'm saying bowl. I think bowl is
bowl.
Reasonable expectations.
6 wins.
That's all I'm saying.
6 wins.
6, 7
easy.
Wins.
Yeah. You get to a bowl, you're happy. That is a goal. But if you're a Colorado football fan out here thinking you about to win 10 games, hold on, Bubba. Let's easy.